Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right. In this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts about DINK, that is dual income, no kids. I'm aware of the fact that this will not be a very popular topic or this video will not get many views. But like I told you, I'm not creating videos only for views or what is trending. Rather, I treat this channel as kind of a window to my soul, or that's a very poetic way to put it. Or rather, I want to share my thoughts, okay? And I invite you to please share your thoughts, because that's how we communicate with each other. So even though I've not met you, even though we may never meet, when we share opinions, that's how we connect and we bond. So maybe that'll be the only connection we have, but I value that. So feel free to comment down below and let me know. One is, give me your views. Second one, if you watch the whole video, let me know, do you agree or disagree with what I have to say? Now, DINK is, even though it has existed since time immemorial, although it was not a trend or it was not very popular, it is two people who choose to either be partners or are married. They are earning, both of them are working, both of them are earning, but they choose not to have kids. And the reasons are obvious. One of the biggest reasons is is money. Either money is not enough for both of them, or they are earning money, but they want to enjoy their lives. They don't want to spend it on, let's say, a kid or child, because let's face it, having a kid and a child is not cheap. It is not at all cheap, especially if you want to give quality education, quality life. Like I'll tell you, for my baby, my daughter, I chose to have, I know, before you even say, Loy, but you have separated from your wife. Let's keep that for a different discussion. But why I chose to have just one kid? Because I knew for a fact that if I had to give that child a good life, that would cost money. You can't bring good clothes. You can't buy a good education. You can't save for their future. You can't provide for their college if you don't have money. Just giving love and affection is not enough. You need to equip them to prepare for the future. So, and to raise a child is, I don't know where this saying was, you need a village, like they say, like you really have to dedicate time, effort, money. Like that's why I had kept my wife as a housewife, because I wanted her to dedicate all her energy, all her focus, dedication, everything to raising the baby. Okay, I would work, she would be the housewife, and I would give my heart and soul to earn, and she would give her heart and soul to raising the child and taking care of the house. Okay, funny how things have changed now. Anyway, so that was my logic, and it worked perfectly as long as it worked. Okay, so now by the way, I'm sure you're curious to know what happened to your wife and all that. If you're interested, just comment down below. I'll make another video. Don't want to mix that and this. Okay. Okay, so I'll tell you honestly, you just are not aware. If you don't have children, you'll not be able to relate to this. But having a kid, money just goes like, it just goes. Like, for example, when I used to take my daughter out, any place, she will ask, I want this, I want this, I want this. Or you'll see one book, or you'll see an educational this thing. And, you end up buying for that child because you say, I want to give the best for that child. In fact, I remember one, friend or someone told me, when I go for shopping, sometimes I think I'll buy myself this shirt or this perfume. But then I think, if I buy for my baby, she'll be so happy. So parents actually sacrifice, not all, but the majority, I would like to believe, if they are a good human being, they sacrifice their wants, their needs sometimes, just for the sake of children. That's why I find it so shocking when I hear one person who's earning a basic income has not one child, 3 children, 5 children. In fact, I had made a video before, no? There's one Muslim guy here from Bangladesh who's illegal, making, crepe. It's like a pancake with eggs and chocolates. He's illegally here. He sells this thing in corner places, wherever, so he doesn't get caught by anyone. He doesn't have money to buy a bowl of rice. Has to feel pity for him and sorry for him, has to order namesake and whatever he is to give me. Sometimes I treat, sometimes I distribute, but I'd give him extra tip or I'd buy him a bag of rice or something. The bugger actually decided to have his 5th kid. Okay? And when I asked him, like one day, how this came about is when my daughter was young that time, I was holding her with my wife and we were ordering one pancake with, chocolate and this condensed milk and banana, which they fried. So as he was preparing that, he asked me, why, oh, you have a daughter, wow, mashallah, mashallah. They always use Allah in every sentence. So he said, so when is the next one? I looked at him like my baby was hardly 1 year old. I said, why the hell should I have a next one? And he responded that, to carry your name forward. This is a very Indianish thing where they believe if you have a boy, he carries your surname, because a girl, when she gets married, she changes her surname for the husband. So carry my name forward. I told him, who the fuck cares about my name? I'll be forgotten in 1 generation. I said, I don't give a rat's ass about my name being carried forward. Oh, am I walking like this? Okay, so, and then he told me, sir, God has finally blessed me with the 5th child. I looked at him with utter disbelief. I was like, what do you mean God blessed you? Yes, sir, Allah was so kind, He gave me. I literally told him, listen, Allah didn't give you the 5th child. You had sex, actually told him, you had sex with your wife. And that's why you have the 5th child. It's you, not Allah, who's giving you this child. You did all the work. And I told him, how are you going to feed? You can't feed those 4 kids. And now you're aiming for the 5th one. Who the hell is how are you going to feed 5 children? I straight away asked him that. His response, I'm sure you know what he said. He said, Allah will provide. Allah will give. Since that day, it has been 3 years. I never ordered from him. I say, hi, how are you, bye. I never gave him a single tip. He used to send his son sometimes to say hello to me because he knew I'd give something. I even refused to give his son anything, even if they say hello respectfully, whatever. He calls me Bade Bhai. Bade Bhai means big brother. He speaks in Hindi, Urdu, whatever you call it. So, total disgust. So, the point I was saying is, and he doesn't send any of these children to school, doesn't have any medical, anything. They are all illegal. Shameless individual. So I get shocked when people say, I have 7 children. One client of mine actually had 11. I just kept quiet. I didn't say a single thing. I just asked him, how do you manage? He said, oh, challenging, man. So now I know what you'll say, Loy, we don't need to go so extreme. But isn't having children part of getting married? Isn't it Especially people will say this, oh, when you become old, who will take care of you? You'll be left in an old age home. Nobody will want to see your face. But if you have a child, at least there is a chance. And that is where I tell people, you're right. There is a chance. And what does the word chance mean? Chance means 50-50. 50% yes, 50% no. And you are stupid to have a positive assumption that after you get old, your child may take care of you. Because I always tell people, what if your child doesn't take care? What if your child doesn't want to take care? What if your child can't take care? Maybe financially they're not settled down. Or what if the child loves you, but something happens, they die. We have seen this in the news. You can Google search this. I don't know the specific incident. These parents, Indian, they send their son to United States. They sacrifice 30 plus years of their lives, okay, to save money and send this young man to United States. I think he was in his 20s something. To send him to United States, they sacrificed their dreams. They sacrificed everything they had to save money. Middle class Indian family to send this boy to the USA. He went to the USA as he was doing college, his masters. He was working in a petrol station. He got shot dead by a black American who wanted to rob the store for a few dollars. And they lost their son. In fact, how many cases have we heard where a young man or young woman dies due to, someone shooting them or an accident? Now you'll say, Loy, those are one-off. No, you're mistaken. This is not one-off. Death can happen to anyone. You can have a tumor, you can have cancer, Don't be so overly confident that, oh, it'll happen to them, not to me. You think those people who tragedy has taken place, whether earthquake, whether wars, whether landslide, whether a car crash, you think they didn't assume that their life would be without accident? They'd be for one split second will change your life. Crazy, man. So the point I was trying to make here is, if you're going to have children for the sole purpose of they'll take care of me when I'm old, you're a fool. Because, see, in my case, I don't look at my mother's face. I don't care she's suffering. I don't care she's in the ICU. I used to care. But because she's shameless, she ruined my life. She was part of the abuse that my stepfather gave. And I don't, in my previous videos I've stated, I don't want my stepfather to die. I want him to live and suffer. And I would enjoy that so very much. I'm not a sadistic person, but that man for the abuse. In fact, even the guy who raped and molested me, my uncle, he died because of smoking. I was very disappointed he died. I wanted him to live and suffer. So anyway, so the point I'm trying to tell you is, just as I don't take care of my parents, my stepbrother does, there's no guarantee your children will take care of you, man. So, and if you're going to have children just for that, you are a fucking retard, man. Shame on you. Seriously, I'm telling you honestly, shame on you that you're having children with the expectation they'll take care of me. Look, I'm aware that there are many lower class people, majority, maybe 80% of the world's population. Fine, if they can't afford it, I understand. They live as a joint family, they take care of their children. And in majority cases, children do take care of them. But we are approaching a social media networked world where today values are thrown out of the window and today's generation is so lost. So don't have children for the purpose of investment. Identifying them as, okay, this is my investment to take care of me. And I can assure you, there are many Indian families, I don't know about other nationalities, Indian families that believe, I gave birth to you, it's your duty to take care of me. And Indian families, they look at the child as an extension of their personality. That's why they tell them, behave yourself, act like me, do the career, engineer, doctor, whatever I want. Anyway, so this is why most of the people have children. Okay, if you have, good for you. But I'll tell you this much, universally everyone will agree with me, having a child is not cheap. It's like having a Rolls Royce. The maintenance is way too high. And it will eat into your earnings and your savings. So that is why many people don't want. First is money. The second is the time, effort, energy, creativity. I don't have that patience. My daughter, oh my goodness. I thought I was ADHD, I was hyper. She has my DNA. Her teacher, even her teacher now back in the village, she says, oh, she talks too much. And here also the teacher said, oh, she talks too much. My wife used to tell me, should I tell her to keep quiet? And I said, no, let her learn to express. But she should know where to talk, when, and to whom. I said, that is her creativity. That is her true nature. Don't ask her to shut up. Rather tell her, if someone is not interested, don't bother them. So, oh, my daughter is hyper talkative, hyper energy. Okay. And I'll tell you, my whole wife's day, until she sleeps at night, until she goes to bed, she will talk until her batteries are zero. It's like a smart device. Until it's zero, it does not stop ringing or whatever. So that is the next one. The third one is a selfish reason, you could say. Couples, no, they want to enjoy life. They want to travel around the world. They want to enjoy the benefits that they can enjoy being single. And also the women, they don't want to go through the pain or the discomfort of having a baby. Some even want to preserve their figure. That's why so many celebrity females, they have surrogate mothers. They say, you bear the child, I'll maintain my figure. Is it right or wrong? That I leave it for individuals to decide. If you ask me, it's a personal choice. Do what you want. But my wife didn't need surrogate mother. She took the pain, and that's why she is closely bonded with the child. And the last reason why this concept of DINK is popular is, I guess I mean, people are not mature or ready to take the responsibility. Many of them, they don't want to take the challenges associated with it. People are like, I have enough on my plate, man. I don't need more. Which once again is a personal choice. The reason I chose to have a child was simply because I knew if I had to have a child, it had to be at the age of 40. The logic being, which my old mentor used to say, see Loy, if you have a child when you're 40, by the time you're 60, the child would have finished college at 20. 40 plus 20 is 60. So I would be 60 years old, the child would complete college. And then maybe another 5-10 years for the child to settle. So you'll be until 70. But if you have a child later than 40, how the hell will you take care? You will die soon. That's why I find this Al Pacino and Robert De Niro having children with females who are old enough to be their granddaughters. Find a little, okay, good for you, you got a nice young female. But anyway, these females are purposely doing it because they'll get part of the property, they'll get free money. So they have a strategy in place. Many women nowadays, before it was predominantly a trend in USA, which is still predominantly in USA, where young girls, they are targeting sports athletes, celebrities. They'll purposely get them drunk, purposely get themselves pregnant, and then, the guy has to pay money per month to provide, or they'll take them to court. In majority of the cases, even if the guy agrees to pay, they take them to court so that they can get $30,000 per month free money or Some even asked $200,000. I'm like, what the bloody hell, yeah? Like, I sometimes, I tell people never underestimate a woman. In fact, one of my friends, my best friend, he got married to this female he was, I think, close to his 40s. This female was close to his 20s. He used to work in one of the top multinational companies. She was living in India. She's not beautiful, and apparently they were second cousins or something. She purposely got him drunk and purposely made him have sex to the point where she had a kid, but they decided to abort it. And out of the guilt and shame, he got married to her. And you could say his life is less than ideal. But I even know some of my other relatives, females, who have actually done this to very rich guys. And you look at it and you keep quiet and you're like, okay. So you wanted insurance for your future. You did what you had to. Good for you. What can you say? Each one to his own, right? So people don't want to take that responsibility. So now the question comes, what do I think? See, I'm a person now. I believe live and let live. You know what shit you're supposed to do, you do that. If you're not ready to have children, don't have. But do I recommend having children? I would say for a married couple, if you have a child, this is my honest, heartfelt opinion. If you have a child, that is the glue that holds you both together. It is a commitment. Because throughout my 4 marriages, this being my last and final one, my 3 marriages, I didn't want to have a child because I knew that, if I didn't have a child, it's easier to break up. Not because of the financial thing. Rather, it would be easy, no commitments. And I'll tell you, when it's your own flesh and blood, you do feel like whenever my daughter, because I was sexually raped and molested, any guy, even a small boy, touches my daughter, my antennas go up. I immediately look and I tell my wife, I want you to teach her, nobody should touch her body at all. I am very fucking particular. Nobody should touch my daughter's body. You want to interact from far. No kiss, no cheek, no touch. It's not your child. And I'm even particular. Don't put any, apart from you being with the child and the child fully clothed, there are some parents who literally put their children's, they are the good parents, but they put in a swimming pool and all that. In a day and age where we have pedophiles freely roaming and Meta and all these social media apps encourage people who have, I don't know if you call it pedophilic tendencies. It's a very dangerous world, man. So I'm very particular. Nothing of my daughter is mentioned on social media. I even got offers from these companies here. Oh, you're a social media guy. Your daughter will give free clothes every month. You have to sign this contract. I said, nothing doing. I can afford. Told my wife, I can afford clothes. We don't need all this shit. Okay. So, so that bond is there. So if you have a child, the bonding is closer. Okay. And I'll tell you, although I was not aware of this, having a child is a game changer. I didn't think it would change me. Seriously, I used to always think, I'll still be the same Loy Machedo. When I'm doing a video, I'll tell the family, get out of the house. I used to actually think, I know, laugh. Seriously, you can laugh and make fun of me. I used to actually think, I would tell them, take the baby, go out or go down the building on. After I actually told them once, I'm making a video because the baby was making so much noise, crying. Initially, when you're just married and you just have the child, the baby cries the whole day. And they were down. It's not that they were in the sun. They were together. I didn't feel comfortable at all. I was like, okay, fine. From today onwards, I emptied the bedroom and I said, that is where they stayed and slept. I said, we'll keep the toys, we'll make it a place there. So anytime, initially the play area was outside. So I said, we'll make it in such a way where we'll keep 2 play areas. Whenever I make a video, take the baby and go inside. And from that time onwards, I would actually change my schedule or adjust until the baby was quiet. So yeah, it has also changed me to the part where I, before I'd give a damn, I'd go where I want, what I'd like to eat. Now, ever since I married and have that kid, whenever I would go out, I would think, instead of me going out to eat what I want, why don't I figure out where the family wants to go out? Let's go out there. Anyway, I can eat what I like. Or sometimes I would actually take them out to a restaurant where they like, and I would buy my food as takeaway there. Unless, of course, I had to eat it in that spot, I would discuss with them and we would mutually agree. And many times, you'll find this shocking as well. Many times I would actually cancel going out if the family said, or if my daughter and my wife said, no, I don't want to go out. And here's another thing. Whenever I was to go out for shopping, I would always take my daughter. And the funny thing is, every time I would take my daughter would always ask, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want this chocolate, that chocolate. And given the fact that my stepfather and mother never, ever, ever gave me a chocolate, never gave me, in fact, they wouldn't even give me a book to read, apart from my school books. Anything my daughter wants, but not to the point of pampering her, I have learned to also say no. If she would ask me for a chocolate or crisps or a juice, and especially if it is a book or educational, I would always tell my wife, don't ask me whether you want to buy a book, just buy a book for the child. I gave her that leeway. Obviously, that was before. Now that we are separated, dynamics slightly changed. Like I told you, if you want to know about what is the dynamics now, you can comment below. I'll share with you if you want. If you don't want, not bother. So yeah, so if you do have a child, it bonds you together. It gives a meaning and purpose in your life. And I've seen this many times when men wanted to give up because they lost their job, or even my mentor, when he lost his job, his business went nearly bust. He was wrongfully put in jail for a bounce check in the Middle East, in Dubai especially. If your check bounces, it's a criminal offense. Even if you have funds in the bank, but the check bounces, they'll put you in jail. So they tried to put him in jail, and that also during those days in Dubai, UAE, it was Thursday is half day, Friday is off, holiday. So they purposely made a case on him on Thursday, so he would be in jail for all of Thursday and Friday, including maybe Saturday. And he was diabetic, so they would not give him his injections, and they were hoping that he would die. Business enemies. Fortunately, he didn't. He came out, but he was very hurt and ashamed because it was a matter of shame going to jail. The whole community, everyone, business community, or his jealous family, friends, relatives, they were like, he's over. So he wanted to leave Dubai permanently. But because he had his daughters told him, he asked his wife, do you want me? We'll go back to India. They were small girls, maybe 4 or 5 years old. They cried a lot because their father had gone to jail. They said, no, Papa, you be here. We want to live here. So with a renewed sense of determination and focus and purpose, he worked hard and he became, I think, 5 times more bigger and successful. So his children were his motivating factor. Even I know another guy who was rags to riches. He had to, another Muslim friend of mine, he was working as an engineer for this company, and they wrongfully terminated him because there was no business or whatever. And he was without a job, so much so that he didn't have any money. And one day when he went home, after searching in the market for a job, he found his wife with the baby. She had a born baby and another small kid walking outside. When you come out of the elevator, there's a I don't know, what do you call it, corridor? So he found the wife and the baby walking there. So he asked, what happened? Why are you not sitting in the house? She said, electricity is cut because we didn't pay this. No electricity, is too hot. And the baby is suffering. And she told him, can you bring some food for the baby? There's no Pampers also. He went, he was so disturbed and hurt. He went to the car and he cried. And he decided, my children will not suffer because of my incompetence. And that led him to proactively create a business. And today he makes, I think he earns millions per year. So yes, children can be a motivating factor and can change people's lives. So would I recommend not having children? No, I would say have a child. It is not only for the future of mankind and all that. It makes you a better human being with the responsibilities. I'll tell you, now I have all these guinea pigs and the sugar gliders and my dogs. Every day I get up, first thing is I have to clean their cage, poop, their piss, all this crazy stuff, and put food and serve them food like twice a day or whatever. It's my responsibility. So, I mean, others, who will do that for them? So then imagine how much more love, attention and care you would have for your own child. Although, sadly, there are many people who don't think like this. That's why you have people like my stepfather, total animals. So, to conclude, double income, no kids it's an option. If you don't feel you're mature, you want to enjoy life, you want to see the best years and not have kids, or you're not ready for it, nothing wrong with it. In fact, there are many people who cannot have children. Seriously, they just cannot. So I totally understand where people are coming from. And it's not an evil thing. I would say rather it's a personal choice. It's nothing to brag about. Neither is it something to be ashamed about. I guess it's just a lifestyle choice. But having said that, I guess you'll always have people who prefer kids, too many. Then there are people like me who prefer having just one kid that you can manage, or maybe some who prefer two. They say, we two are two. Okay. And then there are those who just don't want any. So which one are you? I'm pretty sure many single men and bachelors and social media addicts whose entire life and relationships and everything revolves being online will say, yeah, I want to be a DINK. Dinky. Boy. But I'll tell you, as you grow older, you will think of this question that I put across. It's not about who will take care of you when you're old. That is the question, yes, that majority, lower middle class and middle class people will ask. But rather, I would say that if you want to be a complete human being, one that is mature and really wants to change and move to the next level of being a responsible adult, then one kid is required. Anyway, that's my take on this topic. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You agree, disagree? I'd love to know what do you think. All right? You guys take care. Me signing off. Ciao. And yeah, if you have any topics like these that you'd like my point of view, feel free. Send me comment down below and we'll take it on from there. All right? You guys take care. Ciao.